That'll be good. That's doing that. And Audacity. Good.
Yeah, hey, what's up? This is Critical, and we're playing Daddy's Taqueria. All right, let's do this shit. All right, I'm done playing this.
It's like his old videos. Anyway, what is going on, ladies and gentlemen? This is Long Shot Sportscast. And
-1.
-1.
Dynamic duo is back.
Long Shots -1. It's ya boy, Mike Holm. With me as always is Brady Rucola.
Hello.
And not with me as always, Skyler Lovingfoss decided to, well, let me put it this way. There was these big hooks that were hanging out in the air, and they were floating. They you could see a string on them, kind of. And we learned from Old Man Krabs not to go near said hooks. But Skyler said, well, no, you got to do it because they're covered in free cheese. And he then proceeded to put about 5 hooks in his mouth and then say, and I'm doing this for emphasis, does this look dangerous to you? To which we said yes, and we left him to climb on top of him and ride him like a horsey. So he's out of the show this week.
Packed in a can of tuna.
Yeah, he'll come back later packed in a can of tuna, smelling like mayo. One of those is actually probably true. And then, but hey, listen, people want discussion on a show like this, and we're actually going to give them discussion.
We're going to give it to them.
That's right. We're going to give them something Skyler can't.
Yep.
A well-thought-out, well-rounded discussion about sports.
Yep. And we're going to do it today.
Eat it, Skyler. He's probably the one watching right now. That's the funny part. All right.
I really hope so. I really fucking hope so.
So let's move on to... We had a lot of cool stuff happen today. By cool, I mean semi-weird and maybe not so cool.
Okay.
First of all, Von Miller is under criminal investigation.
Not so cool. I mean,
not so cool at all. We don't know what about, though. That's the big thing.
Yeah, like I was talking to you about a month ago, there was some drama with the baby mama.
Yep.
The kid, saying he didn't want the kid, didn't want to be a part of the life. But then she says he wanted to get her pregnant, yada, 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 drama. I'm wondering if it's stemming from that. Something to do with that.
Could be.
Sounds like it could be, but who knows? Who knows? Only
Well,
time will tell.
And they're investigating, but there's no details really that have come out concrete about this one.
Right.
It's just, alleged domestic violence. Hey, there you go.
Yeah,
That's as of an hour ago.
I thought it had to be something along those lines because
Yikes.
It was literally all over the headlines. Like, I don't even think it was a month ago. It might have just been a couple weeks back.
That'll hurt you. We've seen, it's like, actually, it's like my girlfriend brought up the whole, granted, they had video of him punching her out, but it goes back to the Ray Rice thing, I think, is the first thing we think of when we think domestic violence in the NFL.
For sure.
We had the Tyreek Hill accusations as far as, what was said on that recording. Obviously, they investigated. He came up clean. Nothing really came, of that.
Yeah.
But
it's just not a good look, first of all.
Especially for a guy who, say for the few, the couple of years they had Peyton Manning, he's been the face of that franchise for a week.
He's in commercials.
I'm sorry, a week. 10 years.
But yeah, that he's in commercials. He's like, a big face for the NFL as an organization.
Oh, big time. He's been on like Nike commercials and Gatorade bottles and everything else.
So definitely not the guy you want doing this. I mean, obviously you don't want anybody doing that, but I mean, it's got high profile.
Yeah, be a big loss for the team.
Yeah,
there's a guy who's also spent the last year out. He's had his ACL tear, as well as he had COVID even prior to that. So unfortunate. We'll see where it goes from there, but it's not looking good for Vaughn at this moment.
No.
Interesting. Wade Phillips, former head coach / defensive coordinator. He's actually used to be defensive coordinator of my Chargers back in our prime. says, I am ready to retire from retirement. I'm ready and available. Let's win. Let's
go, MJ.
Let's bring him back. I want Wade Phillips back.
You want him back on the Chargers?
Yeah, I want him to be our D coordinator again.
There you go.
He was our D coordinator, if I remember right. He was from that era where nobody could run on us. Like, people in Qualcomm Stadium used to chant, "You can't run, you can't run." And then when he left in 06, literally the next year, 07, Adrian Peterson sets the single game rushing record on us.
Oh, yeah.
That is no fib. He's been former,
I don't know if there's any stopping that.
Wade, obviously, son of all-time Oilers coach Bum Phillips. He was D coordinator of the Saints in the early to mid 80s, the Eagles in the late 80s, the Broncos in the late 80s to early 90s. He was their head coach for a couple seasons. Bills D coordinator in the mid 90s, their head coach for 3 years in the late 90s to 2000. Then he was the D coordinator of the Falcons for 2 seasons. D coordinator of the Chargers for 3 years. That was 04, 05, 06, right there in that golden age as far as us kind of reemerging. Cowboys head coach from 07 to 2010. That was during the Romo T.O. era. Then the Texans D coordinator / interim head coach from 2011 to 2013. That was when Gary Kubiak had to leave because of his medical stuff. D coordinator of the Broncos from 15 to 16. That was when Von Miller's defense won the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
and
we all remember that.
Then the Rams D coordinator from 2017 to 2019, where they went to the Super Bowl against the Patriots. This guy has so much experience in coaching talent and getting out there. I'm genuinely surprised he's only got 1 Super Bowl under his belt. But hey, you know what? Come to the Chargers. Maybe we'll go for another one. How about that?
Oh, I'm sure he's on the phone already.
Oh, he's got to have teams beating his door down. I mean, even though he's been retired for a year, he's 73.
What's
but
a year?
he knows. He knows.
You want
defense.
a guy who's got a little age like that. I mean,
you heard that list of teams.
He's been through a lot.
Those aren't some shitty defenses, man. That Texans defense 2011 to 2013 was solid. That Cowboys team, save for maybe the year before he got fired, they were solid. They were a solid playoff threat, Super Bowl contender those 3 years as well.
Aren't they every year?
That Chargers defense was solid from 04 to 06 when we had Merriman and Donnie Edwards and those guys. No, I'd love to see, and then the Rams defense in 2017 to, now they're still great.
Oh, yeah.
But they took that next step up when he was the D coordinator.
I think he helped shape it.
Oh, absolutely. So yeah, we'd love to see Wade Phillips back.
Lay the groundwork.
I would love to see him be my team's D coordinator again because we have a vacancy. Gus Bradley went and flew the coop. He went to the Raiders. Boy, imagine that. Imagine getting rid of a guy that you hate as far as your D coordinator, a guy that blew so many games for you by having a rock solid D in the first half and then playing prevent in the second half and losing you games, and then he goes to a team that you play twice a year.
I know, it's like Merry Christmas again.
Are you serious?
Huh?
So wonderful news there. Robert Saleh, this happened, I believe, last night. He is the new coach of the New York Jets.
The Jets, first Muslim coach ever in the NFL, so that's pretty cool.
That's very cool.
And yeah, he's very energetic, very rah-rah.
Very,
he's passionate.
He's high intensity,
yes.
high motor, and that's something that I think the Niners fed off of a little bit.
And I think the Jets could feed off of that, and I think it brings a whole different aspect to the table as far as the coaching goes. Obviously, the Niners have been very successful, although this year they were hindered by injuries and all that, so you can't really blame them.
Insane amount of injuries.
So everybody knows that, but they've been a great organization for a while. They're only getting better. They've only been getting better.
It's like this. The Niners spent much of 2020 without Nick Bosa, Solomon Thomas, and Richard Sherman.
Yeah.
Plus a laundry list of other smaller injuries to key defensive players.
It's crazy.
They still finished top 5 in total defense.
And that's pretty tough to do with all that going on around you.
I think it's safe to say the Jets defense, especially because there's a lot of young kids, and you got to imagine they're going to get C.J. Mosley back next year.
For sure. I mean,
they'll get better. They'll get better immediately. Yeah. Well, now that we've got a year under their belts.
The NFL handled it pretty well.
I don't think. I mean, we had some guys coming off with COVID and stuff like that.
And some of it was people players
Yeah.
being irresponsible about it.
Which is why teams lost all their wide receivers one week or all their quarterbacks one week.
I mean, look at a team like the Seahawks.
Yeah.
We didn't have any positive cases until
I think we had
fucking late in the season.
I think the Chargers only had one.
And
Trey Pipkins.
and it might have been like
but that was
I think that was the Seahawks too, if any.
So it just depends. People got to be responsible.
It's yeah.
When you're the Raiders and you're not wearing masks and you're being stupid and you're constantly getting fined.
And then
I mean,
there was a game there where they almost had to put their practice squad defense in because of contract tracing and all that. So
Yep.
I think they got the formula down on what needs to be done. It's just making sure everybody's following protocol.
But no,
yeah,
regardless,
I
mean, safe to say that Jets defense will get better
Yeah.
in quick hand, especially because there's so many young guys that I think are just a good coordinator away from being great, and Greg Williams just wasn't going to get it done.
I mean, hey, they showed some signs of life there late in the season, the Jets, as far as winning a couple, but they can do it.
So we've got former Chargers coach Anthony Lynn. He has spoken to Pete Carroll about the Seahawks offensive coordinator job. Sources tell Rap Sheet Lynn hasn't decided what he wants to do in 2021, but he'd be among Seattle's top choices. The thing about Lynn, he's not been a coordinator before. He was actually a running backs coach / interim head coach for the Bills prior to being our coach. Mm-hmm. But he is a running backs guy. I kind of joke that he is to running backs almost what people think of Adam Gase to quarterbacks, but that's not exactly. I mean, it's not like he made Melvin Gordon, Derrick Henry, or anything like that.
Yeah.
But he
No, he knows how to push them to that next.
I was gonna say it's not entirely true. He does. I can guarantee you, he's the reason why we got the most out of Austin Eckler. He's the reason why we got the most out of Kalen Ballage this year. Who we just kind of had at the riding the hot hand there. We picked him up about 8 weeks in,
And I think that Seattle could definitely use that.
Yeah.
Not that we have a problem at running backs, but if any of ours go down, it'd be nice to have a coach there to help out these other younger dudes.
For real.
For when it's go time. And like I was telling you, I don't like Anthony Lynn at all as a coach.
No, as a coach,
But
when he's managing the clock and your timeouts,
Yeah.
and stuff, and
like I was saying, as an OC, I mean, you guys had no problems really on offense for the most part throughout the whole season. It was like you said, the defense. So if we're hiring for the OC, I'm not really that mad about it. If that's who we're gonna go with, we'll see. But yeah, Russell Wilson said too that he wants to sit in on these on the hiring process. He wants to be a part of the hiring process for the OC.
I think that when you've invested, and this is what we talked about last week with the Deshaun Watson thing and why Deshaun Watson's pissed off. When
Seattle won't do Russ like that. They'll let him.
But
for
here's
sure.
the thing: when you've invested, 6 years and however many million to Russ.
I mean, if they don't
What
let
was
him,
it was 6 years, 140, right?
something like
It was
that. I can't remember the
like that.
exact number.
When you've invested that many years and that much money on a guy, you've got 4 more years in that contract. Is it 4 or 5? Because I think he was in his last year when they extended it.
Yeah, 5.
Okay, you've got that time left. He's gonna be your franchise guy. Russ wasn't like when he was throwing that pick and when he was getting pressured in that game against the Rams. That's not a guy slipping in terms of his play and his football IQ. That's a guy not protected. That's a guy getting beaten down by some suspect play calling. So if you're him, you need to voice. You need a voice out there. So yeah, you need say in the new OC. You need say in getting some O-line personnel.
That's the first, the second, and the last step.
Like you look at Tom Brady. Tom Brady didn't have say for 20 years, and after a certain amount of time, 6 Super Bowl rings. It's like, I've won Super Bowls.
Yeah.
I just want some say now.
Yeah.
Like, this is a guy who I honestly thought would stick around with the franchise, retire with the Patriots,
I don't think anybody saw this coming, but
and wind up a GM or have like an Elway style stake in that team, just immediately from retirement. and that's not.
He doesn't like it up in that area.
That's not what's happening there. Because he wasn't given any say. It's like, what else does he have to do?
Yeah, I mean, this guy's literally put the team on his back for the last how many fucking years.
Bill Belichick showed that anybody is expendable.
Yep.
Except Brady. He cuts guys out in or trades them away in what people assume is their prime. Guys like Chandler Jones, Jamie Collins, LeGarrette Blount. He trades them, he gets rid of them after, it doesn't matter what they've done.
Belichick's got like a sixth sense, man, about these things.
Gostowski.
Yep.
He's insane when it comes to this stuff. The one guy he consistently didn't let go
for good reason
was Brady. So you'd think like that guy should have some sort of invested stake in that team, and it didn't happen. But now you got to look at it like this: the Patriots aren't in the playoffs this year, and I think the writing's on the wall for a team like Houston that they either need to give in to what Deshaun Watson wants, because that guy's the future. That guy's a top 3 quarterback right now, top 3, top 5, depending on who you ask. Led the league in passing with what he had at catching the ball. Or you can become another casualty, and it's like the Seahawks. I mean, all due respect, what are the Seahawks without Russell Wilson?
They're not a damn thing without Russell Wilson, and that's the problem here,
right?
And that's why we did the let Russ cook at the beginning of the season.
Like, he's basically...
And look at that. He was going MVP, Russ, MVP. And then all of a sudden, we got away from that, right? We got away from the play calling, got a little different. Right. But then not even only that, the O-line, they looked really good at the beginning of the season.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden, it tapered off, and we saw what they really were. Well, and it was too late for anything at that point.
I don't know where you guys are sitting on cap space, but obviously, you guys don't have a first-round pick.
No.
You should probably go second round. Second round and some money into just getting some help on that O-line. But the thing is,
to dump all our money into that O-line.
If you're Russ, you need to say, listen, I want a guy. You guys have one guy, one real player on that O-line, and it's Dwayne Brown.
Yep.
You guys need more than that. And if you're Russ, you need to be sitting there going, dude, I need help, and I need guys that aren't, not guys that were Pro Bowlers 8 years ago, like Mike Iapati. Not guys that were first-round flyer, discount rack.
Iapati needs to fucking go.
Like first-round busts that we took a flyer on from the discount rack, like DJ Fluker and Luke Jokel. It's like, he needs some legitimate help.
Because you see the things Russell Wilson does with the state of this fucking O-line, and it's amazing. Imagine what the fuck this guy could have been doing, can be doing, if he had a solid line like the Bucks or the Saints or whoever you want to say. Imagine if he had that. Oh my God, it would be scary.
Well, yeah, looking at the O-line, Dwayne Brown, Mike Iapati, who he's had 2 knee injuries. He's not
fucking all but washed.
He's not good anymore. Pochich, that guy commits 2 or 3 holding penalties a game.
Every fucking game.
Chance Warmack would have been nice, but he opted out.
He opted out at the beginning of the season.
Damian Lewis.
So we still have that.
I don't know him. And then Cedric Ogbuehi, I thought he was... I thought he was a bust on another squad. I could be wrong.
No, I think we did get him from somebody.
I'm happy to be wrong. Used to play for the Bengals, it looks like. Round 1 bust with the Bengals.
Yeah. Yep.
Let's see.
Why the fuck not? Give us a body. Give us a body. We'll turn it into something. He won the
right tackle job. 2 sacks, suffered a torn rotator cuff, so he's damaged goods.
Yeah, he's like Woody with the little...
And they declined the 5th-year option on his contract. That's okay.
Okay.
When it comes to first-round picks, that's everything you need to know. When they decline your 5th-year option,
that means there's something wrong.
The writing's on the wall.
Yeah.
Then he signs with the Jaguars for 1 year, making less than $1 million to guard the quarterback.
And then
he signs with you guys.
I wonder how much we fucking... A couple gumballs? I mean...
So that tells you what you need to know right there.
See, that's a fucking issue. That's a big issue right there.
And we're not trying to slander Cedric Ogbuehi.
No. We're just talking about the O-line here.
We're making a point about how they look at that O-line, and it's not good. Mike Iupati
It's obviously
is
not good.
one.
We see what fucking happened these last few weeks with Seattle. It's ugly.
Mike Iupati is another one. He's been around since 2010, so he's
getting up there.
He's 11 years in the business. Excuse me, jeez Louise. He was a Pro Bowler during his time with the Niners and 1 year with the Cardinals.
Like you said, though, has been.
Let me see here.
Was 8 years ago.
Signed a huge deal with the Cardinals. I remember because I wanted him on my team when he was up. Then that first year, neck injury against the Seahawks.
Yeah.
Okay, then he returned the week after against the 49ers, started every game for the remainder of the season. 2017, triceps injury week 1, IR. 2018, 2 games of the back injury, knee injury week 13, MCL injury, IR. And then with you guys,
dude's probably 70% at best.
This is a guy who's played 11 years, has dealt with injuries on and off. He's not the guy he was in 2015.
Like I said,
2014.
This dude is probably 70% at best.
Yeah.
There's no way he's to his full potential.
You guys have 4 quarterbacks on your roster. What's up with that?
Dude, ask the fucking Schneider. I don't know, dude.
Then look at your last couple first-round picks that haven't played out. Jordan Brooks is starting, but I didn't hear his name.
Brooks, I like Brooks.
He played good?
Yes.
Okay, I'll take your word on
Brooks is good.
LJ Collier, I saw him get 1 pressure in that game last week, but I haven't hardly seen him at all.
Been very non-productive, really.
I'm glad to know that Jordan Brooks was good because we laughed at that pick when it happened.
I know, and he actually ended up
35 tackles, not bad.
He ended up being pretty decent.
Man, please don't get Isaiah Simmons.
Will you stop? Yeah, please don't do it. Don't get him. Anyway, I'm making fun of somebody.
All I heard was, yeah.
I don't even know who that was.
I was like, what the fuck?
Let's keep going. Some more news, shall we? Oh, the Atlanta Falcons have made an offer to Tennessee Titans offensive coordinator Arthur Smith to become their next head coaches. He's been the offensive coordinator for the Titans for the last 2 seasons. Interesting choice. Now, he hasn't officially signed yet.
He hasn't said yes.
But let's be real.
Oops, excuse me.
I don't know. Arthur Smith, he made Tannehill look great, right?
I mean, sure.
But I'm not going to...
I'm not a Tannehill hater at all.
I'm not ashamed to say I think he's been a top 10 quarterback this year.
Mm-hmm. I don't give a fuck if it's managing games or whatever. He's doing that position, what he needs to do in that position,
here's
right?
Here's the thing. You've got a 2,000-yard rusher on that squad.
King Henry.
What do the Falcons have? You've got Todd Gurley. And his
a washed-up Todd Gurley, who
Gurley
the Rams ran into the fucking dirt where he's pretty much just spare parts.
He's got Brandon Roy knees.
Yeah, dude, spare parts.
Like, what are you doing?
He's going to crack any day now.
So you go from a 2,000... You potentially go from a 2,000-yard rusher, the second coming of Earl Campbell, to a guy who people thought was going to essentially be that 5 years ago, and now...
the Rams handled him so
like his knees, you don't know at this point. Not to mention, you go from a game manager at quarterback. I
don't think there's a problem with it.
Is Matt Ryan an upgrade from Tannehill, or is that a lateral move?
I think if you go back even just 2 or 3 years ago, yes. What I saw now, I don't think so.
I think it's almost a downgrade.
I think it's a downgrade.
Because Tannehill's not going to light it up and blow you away, but Tannehill makes very few mistakes.
Very few mistakes. He gets the ball to where it needs to be.
And then he
doesn't need to fucking throw
then you've got
a crazy amount of yards every game.
Julio is still good, but Julio's coming off an injury.
So here's my thing with Julio.
Or an injury-riddled season.
Here's my thing with Julio. I believe besides DeAndre Hopkins, Julio literally is the other best receiver in the league.
I agree. He's still top 3, yeah.
Those injuries, though.
Yeah.
That's the only thing with him. But this guy, since he's the past 5 years, though, he's always been light practice.
You got to keep in mind, though, he has been around, I believe, as long as Von Miller. Now.
No, he is old. He is
31. Okay, so Julio's 31. He's still great, and I'm not slamming the guy.
No,
I
he's
mean,
definitely not regressing.
he had a down year mostly due to injury.
It's just due to injury, man. Because when he did play, and Matt Ryan wasn't shitting the bed, dude's amazing. I just think he belongs on a different team.
We're talking a guy who's 31. And then you've got Calvin Ridley, who emerged and played extremely well.
Second coming of Julio, in my opinion. I mean, this guy is playing great.
But this is an offense that needs a facelift and might get a facelift because they've already came out and said Matt Ryan and Julio Jones are available.
And you could sell both of those guys pretty high.
So, like, are they wanting to completely change up this franchise?
I think they are trying to dismantle, build from the ground up.
Frankly speaking, and we've talked about this before, and it's the same thing with the Lions' job.
Yeah.
If you're coming into the Falcons or the Lions, you need to trade your quarterback. I mean,
it's a rebuild, man.
And you need to trade Julio. So, like, with the Lions, luckily for them, Kenny Galladay's in a contract season, so they don't have to worry about that. But if you're starting on one of those, you need the expectations to be here.
Yeah.
And they should already be here like Stafford, in the case of Stafford, he hasn't made a Pro Bowl in several seasons.
How old is he? When's he done?
Stafford's been around since 2009, so he's got to be...
He's just gotten so many... but he's tough as nails. He's actually one of my favorite low-key quarterbacks because he is tougher than shit, dude. He plays through so many injuries that people don't even...
Since the merger, the AFL-NFL merger, he's probably been the Lions' best quarterback.
And he's not bad. Like you said, I think
45,000
I think that team just needs help. They need...
He's 32.
The coach was just a total shitstorm.
If Ben Roethlisberger retires, can you imagine if they traded for Stafford?
Like the Steelers?
Yeah.
For what?
Like trade for Stafford.
Yeah.
If Roethlisberger retires.
What do you think? Yeah. No, that'd be great for the Steelers.
That'd be awesome.
It'd be fantastic for the Steelers. But I guess my thing would be
third round pick.
Yeah, maybe.
A third-round pick for a 32-year-old quarterback?
I think he's worth a little more than that, but...
Second round? Not a first.
Not a first. Definitely not worth a first, but
see, here's the thing.
A little more than a third.
We have to gauge what a pick worth is after DeAndre Hopkins didn't even get a first.
Exactly. Well, okay, but what was that though? Like, was that the Texans just being stupid?
Bill O'Brien will never live that. Move down.
That would never happen, and I don't see that ever happening. Like, I'm still baffled that even happened.
Honestly, I think a second or a third for Matt Stafford, if Roethlisberger retires, would be wonderful.
Yeah.
Now you also got to think the Broncos could trade for Stafford as well. No, think about it.
Yeah,
Drew Lock's not getting it done.
No, I know.
They're a team that is in the market for a quarterback.
Drew Lock also was hindered by injuries a lot this year too. I don't think he's all that anyway.
He had a game where he threw 4 touchdowns against the Chargers playing prevent. I'm not impressed.
No. I'm not saying this. I'm not crediting this guy saying he's good. I'm just saying we didn't really see this year.
I saw enough.
Yeah, and he did play injured a lot, but I don't know.
I saw enough. I think honestly, Stafford would be an immediate upgrade. They're a team. They're in the market for a quarterback.
I think they would, but
they could trade for for Stafford. They could trade for.
What do you think the Lions? Who would they get as QB then? I mean, that's just all we're just talking.
They're picking high enough. They draft a kid. They could get Justin Fields.
Well, because they got and shit at running back, man. They got. That was my biggest issue with the Lions this year, is how they were doing this committee here. DeAndre Swift is your guy, man.
Okay, they're picking 7th. Now think about this. Let's say the Jets take Fields, right?
Hypothetically.
Do you think they take a quarterback, or do you think they take Penei Sewell?
The Jets? They need a...
And then
that's hard because Darnold, I actually do believe in Darnold.
But do you think maybe this system, like Rich Eisen says, this system has broke him?
It might have.
They trade Darnold away so he can go somewhere else.
and then like I said, like I've been talking, you know me, I've been talking up Justin Fields.
How many squads would be interested in Darnold? Think about that. The Broncos could potentially be interested and do a battle with him and Locke. The Cowboys could be looking at a quarterback. We know that much. The Niners, the football team.
Yeah.
There's teams out there that could be looking.
There's a lot of quarterbacks still in the league that are, they're going to be going different places.
If the Falcons move off of Matt Ryan, now if they're in a better spot than the Lions, obviously, if they move off of Stafford. But these guys right here, you think about it, there's 4 quarterbacks that could go in this first round, right? You've got Lawrence, who's obviously going to Jacksonville.
Yeah.
Fields, who's pretty much the consensus number 2. Then you get it's depending on who you ask, it's the BYU kid, Zach Wilson, I believe his name is, and then Trey Lance. They could easily go, Lawrence, Fields if they don't go tackle. Then they would take Sewell probably if they take Fields. Sewell or Devontae Smith. Then right here, if you trade Matt Ryan, I say that these guys probably take Zach Wilson. Then you go, Cincy, Philly, Trey Lance, maybe to the Lions. And even though I don't think he's raised his stock enough to go first round, I would be paying attention to Mac Jones too.
Mac Jones third string quarterback from Bama who had to play behind 2 QBs who are now pro QBs.
Exactly.
And he had to beat out a 5-star recruit to get this starting job, and he did, and he won a national championship. What more do you want? And he played fantastic.
This is what I talk about when I talk...
and that kid's showing some grit for doing that.
When I talk Alabama, right?
Yeah.
So if you play against them in college, that is probably the closest you get to an NFL caliber defense.
Yeah.
You think about how many starters and offense, really, an NFL caliber team that is, because routinely every year they lose the most in the first round, especially them. Clemson sometimes, LSU sometimes, but consistently Alabama. Mostly SEC. That's why these SEC kids go quite a bit, because the competition is here. So you know what they're going to be like.
You can kind of gauge. Yeah, you can kind of gauge where they would fit in at the next level, because they're already the closest there. Yeah.
With the case like Mac Jones, part of it is like, yeah, he had Devontae Smith out there, but Devontae Smith got hurt. Devontae Smith left that game early, and he still threw for 250 more yards on top of what he threw to Smith, and got the running back Najee Harris involved, who bumped his draft stock too.
He's been doing great.
He's the next in a line of great Alabama running backs as well, the likes of Mark Ingram and Derrick Henry. So he can run a pro-style offense already.
Yeah.
And that should be noted here. Do I think he'll raise his stock to a first round? Not necessarily. No. Definitely not top 10. But I've seen weirder. Remember 2012? What was his name? 2013? EJ Manuel went in the first round when he was supposed to go in the 4th. Daniel Jones goes 6 when everybody had him going 30.
And he should have.
Probably should have. Probably should have gone 30th round.
Yeah.
I've seen weirder, but
it all depends on who's
I think the 4
looking.
quarterbacks are cemented already, but I don't know. Detroit's got to get a new coach. Detroit probably needs a new offensive coordinator.
They need a new coach.
Although
they do.
Well, they have Bevel, right? Bevel's their OC.
So they're not using these players.
Yeah.
Like I said, like the running back situation over there.
I'll tell you right now.
How is DeAndre Swift not getting more touches? This dude he's crazy good.
DeAndre Swift is a gadget player for sure. Kenny Golladay, he's up for grabs. And if you're a Detroit free agent, you don't stay unless they're offering you way too much money. And I don't think they do, because Golladay had a rough year with injuries and everything else this year. So he's a question mark. So you've got, as far as they go, they're not looking at playoffs for a while.
No.
But I worry if they'd be looking at either Zach Wilson, who I think I like a little more than Trey Lance, who seems to be kind of more of a Cam Newton type. I like Wilson a little more in that style of an offense for Detroit. But it depends. If they can get an OC or a head coach combo that knows what to do with a guy like Trey Lance, saying that if they're staring him down at the 7, that we could be looking at something totally different. This is a team that won 5 games somehow. Like because in my head I'm going, wow, were they really better than Atlanta? Were they? Because I don't,
I mean, yeah,
one
I'm
game
surprised.
better than Atlanta? Were they really
Atlanta?
Well,
the whole thing come down that with Atlanta was blowing the leads again.
yeah.
The defensive problem with Atlanta.
It's interesting. I just think that if Arthur Smith takes this job with Atlanta, reboot the team.
I say just fucking.
You set those expectations
Blow it up.
far to the floor as you can, and you
do a whole rebuild there, man.
You start working quarterbacks out, knowing that if the Jets take a tackle, there's a great possibility you could get Justin Fields at 4, and feel good about that, or you can get Zach Wilson at 4 and feel good about
Either
that.
way.
Or Trey Lance. If Trey Lance is your guy and you want to take him at 4, feel good about that too. You could probably trade down to get either of the last two as
you
well.
want.
In the first, they'll go in the
If they're
first.
really serious about moving off Ryan.
I mean, outside like Atlanta, Detroit, these guys don't need a QB. They don't need a QB because they're going to go Hurts. Carolina, maybe. It depends on how they feel about Bridgewater.
I think there's no problem with Bridgewater. I think he's doing great things over there.
Carolina fans are kind of over Bridgewater from what I've seen. Denver, maybe.
They just want to win so bad.
So yeah, it's this draft's going to be very weird.
I don't know what to expect.
I don't know. As long as we take a corner or a tackle, I feel great about it. But
Chargers.
It's going to be weird. So let's keep moving here. Oh yeah, we talked about it. So Urban Meyer got the job in Jacksonville. To that I say, hallelujah. I didn't because
Kind of cool.
It's cool. I want him to succeed, but I didn't want to be the guinea pig for the Urban Meyer experiment. There was talks of him.
Oh, for the Chargers, you mean?
Yeah. So he talked to the Chargers this week. Chargers talked to him, rather. And then that same day he signed with the Jaguars, which I think is funny. We almost have like the
You guys scare him off?
Dude, we have like we must have the cheese touch or something.
Yeah.
Like from Diary of a Wimpy Kid, where it's like if Alex doesn't listen to the show, but if he did, he would dig that reference.
What a dirtbag.
The cheese touch. No, because then we talked to Urban Meyer, then he signs with Jacksonville. Then we set up a second interview with Robert Saleh, and then he takes the Jets job.
The Jets.
It's like fine. Brian Dable.
Isn't that crazy?
No, but here's the thing, because Brian Dable's still out there, and that's my number one guy.
No,
and
isn't that crazy though? Saleh, he want to go to the Jets, not the Chargers.
Honestly, how low or how high could the Jets' expectations possibly be?
I guess, but like, look
Think
how
about-
high.
think
Oh,
about
yeah.
that.
I mean,
They go, hey, if you can win us 5 games this year,
we'll give you. Yeah,
you will give you the key to the city.
yeah, maybe
Because
that.
this team stinks.
Maybe he sees something in them that we don't like.
Maybe that okay. That's my favorite. Okay, we could probably get away with playing this on the show, right? The Jets draft blunders.
Why not?
Hold on, Jets
I don't see why not.
draft blunders. And if you want to watch along at home, it's just New York Jets draft blunders. It's the first one. It's hilarious.
Some good content.
Jones. Wide receiver, Texas.
I think it's a good selection, but a very surprising one.
UCLA running back, Freeman McNeil.
I love Pete Rozell's
As a
voice.
season ticket holder of the
Yeah.
Jets, I'm going to boo.
That's Mortensen.
Jets take the first round selection, quarterback, Ken O'Brien of California Davis.
Everybody said if Marino was going to be around at that time, they take Marino. Obviously, the Jets know something that, the people up here don't.
New York
No, they
Jets
do
first
not.
round selection, fullback, Roger Vick, Texas A&M. New York Jets first round choice,
Love his voice.
Jeff Lageman, linebacker, Virginia.
Look at the Jets guy.
Obvious to me right now that the Jets just don't understand what the draft's all about.
The New York Jets select Blair Thomas, running back, Penn State.
What?
He was a
The
bust.
New York Jets
Big
select
running
Johnny
back. I know.
Mitchell, tight end, Nebraska.
Tight end Johnny Mitchell.
So New York becomes tight end.
We want Sap.
The
New York Jets select tight end from Penn State, Kyle
Holy
Brady.
shit.
That was the year they went 1-15.
How do you feel if you're that guy? And they're booing you.
Dude, he had his mom with him, and they were booing him. Like,
Bro, that's
and
fucked.
His mom's like, they're gonna hear from me. I watched that. It was a Caught in the Draft special about 95.
Probably shouldn't do that, woman.
Yeah, it was rough. So anyhow, Urban Meyer, like I said,
So this was,
I didn't want to be the guinea pig, or us to be the guinea pig for the Urban Meyer experiment, because we talked about it last week. College coaches who live it up in college, they come to the NFL, and for every one Pete Carroll,
I was gonna say there was Pete
you
Carroll.
get a dozen Sabins, Petrinos, Kellys, Spurriers. The list goes on. Holtz's. It's just guys that don't make it to that next level. Mike Riley.
So it is official.
Coached what?
Arthur Smith.
Arthur Smith did go to the Falcons
Yep.
then. Okay, Arthur, your homework is to reboot this franchise, bud.
Yep.
That's your
Tear it down, build it up.
That's your best value.
Yeah. Anyway,
But no, Mike Riley's who great Oregon State coach, awful Chargers coach, coached us to a 1-15 season. How the fuck do you do that?
I know.
So I didn't want to be part of the Urban Meyer experiment, even though
I brought this up.
Our roster is tailor made to succeed. Yeah,
This is all theory, but this got brought up is Urban Meyer getting hired to the Jags. Trevor Lawrence, number one, or does he pick his own guy, Justin Fields? Justin Fields.
So here's the thing.
Justin Fields, he's showing besides this championship game, he struggled hard.
There's a number of scenarios. Now, we talk about the clock ticking on guys. For example, Justin Herbert lighting it up got the clock ticking for a couple guys. In particular, Anthony Lynn, for saying he's a backup for a reason.
No wonder he's out of a job.
Tua Tagovailoa, because he got picked a pick ahead of him. And now it's like, well, fuck, what's Tua now? Because Herbert is the consensus rookie of the year.
And like you were saying, that's why they kind of started rolling Tua out there in Miami when they really didn't need to.
Worried. Yeah.
Because Fitzpatrick was doing just fine.
That could have cost, for all we know, that could have cost them playoffs.
It probably did.
Really think about it. Some of those games where Tua was throwing like 3 picks and all that.
I honestly believe it did.
That could have cost them the playoffs.
You already know. I've said it on the show. I've said it at work. I've said it before. I said I don't think Tua should be playing over Fitzpatrick. Why would you take the hot hand away? Makes no sense. Yep. Except for that, what you're saying right now. That's the only way it could make sense is they saw what Herbert was doing. Yep. What do we got sitting on the bench right now? Well, not Herbert. They don't have Herbert.
Right. So Urban Meyer. So here's the thing. We talk about that. If somehow, some way, he takes Justin Fields over Trevor Lawrence and gifts the Jets Trevor Lawrence, because at that point it's not a case of do they take a tackle or Trevor Lawrence. They take Trevor Lawrence at 2. If somehow he's not there at 1, or I'm sorry, if somehow he's still there at 2, he's gone.
It's way more valuable than anything else, so why wouldn't you yet?
So if they take Fields and Lawrence is there, then it's going to be a talk of the 2 QBs right off the bat. And if Fields doesn't either match Lawrence's productivity or far exceed it, say Lawrence busts out or something, Urban Meyer's clock is ticking.
Oh,
from that
real
minute.
Quick. I don't think he does take Fields.
No. But it's an interest. It's something I wasn't thinking about until you said it.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely one of those things in the back of your mind, like, whoa, could this happen? Conspiracy theories.
Well, because like we said, Lawrence has been a tailor-made first-round prospect since he was in high school. He's been the consensus. We knew it last year that Lawrence was going to be the number 1 pick this year.
Since he's been playing football, I think he's lost less than a handful of games.
Yeah, they're saying he's
been playing football.
Because like okay, I'll put it this way: in 2019, were we saying all season Joe Burrow's going to be number 1?
Yep.
Well, no, we weren't saying that until week probably week 9, week 10.
Yep.
I was under the impression that he would actually somehow get to 6 or wherever we were picking. It wasn't until they start lighting it up. He's lightening it up, and then they win the championship, and then like
That
right around
seals the deal.
Right around when they get like right before they got to playoffs, then it was like, oh, Burrow's won. Burrow's won, because I actually was under the impression that Tua. Remember at the start, it was tank for Tua.
Yep.
We said tank for Tua with the Dolphins, and they wound up getting him anyway.
Yeah, it didn't matter.
This is different. This is a case where during this whole season, even before this season started, going into last season, we knew 2021 Trevor Lawrence is number 1. Why? Because he is the most clean-cut number 1 quarterback prospect, safe bet since Andrew Luck.
Yeah, I was gonna say safe is the word you need to use here. Because if you were, so people were saying things about Fields.
Yeah.
That Clemson game, right?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
They take him first, maybe now, and then everybody's like, well, we gotta wait for this championship game. I said the same thing. Didn't quite look the same.
No.
But yeah, I think Trevor Lawrence would definitely be the safer pick, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Everybody's expecting it already to be number 1.
Well, and I think
not to mention,
but at this point,
look at his resume, pretty damn good.
If you don't take Trevor Lawrence, you're just getting cute with it.
Exactly. Like you either need to fucking win big, like Justin Fields need to ball the fuck out,
right?
If that's where you're going with it. Otherwise, you're gonna look like a fucking idiot.
Well, and if you're Urban Meyer, this is your first pro gig,
and that's,
you have.
Are you gonna take that big fucking risk? Is it worth it?
Right, but you gotta dot your I's and cross your T's, man. Because,
or do you play it safe?
Let's be honest. When Pete Carroll came in, everybody was like, "Oh, cool, Nick Saban too. Let's go." Or Bobby Petrino too. Actually, he's more of a Saban was never more of a hoorah rah rah guy.
Not really.
He's more of a Belichick in college.
Yeah.
Whereas I think you're more fresh off the Petrino. Petrino was a fucking woo pig suey guy.
Woo pig suey.
And I think people were like, "Oh God, is Carroll even gonna make it?" Like,
I mean, you got to think about it. He was already in the NFL before he was a head coach.
He was, but man, you got to remember when he went to Seattle. Seattle was bad.
Oh,
the year before.
Tell me about it.
What was it? The year before they had picked 4th overall. Aaron Curry. There's one maybe for.
Yep.
Maybe that's
blast from the past.
Maybe that's a preview for our next episode.
Yeah.
Yes, he did so good. No.
Great.
So something to look at. Urban Meyer. I'd love to be proven wrong. I hope he takes.
No, I hope he does great.
I want the Jaguars to do well.
Me too. I wanted them to do well this year. I wanted Minshew Mania and all that to be a thing, and we thought it was at the very early hours of the season.
Let's be real. That quarterback depth chart is probably like the coolest room at that point.
I think
if you go Lawrence and Minshew, you have Minshew and Lawrence like riding together. That's like those. It's like, oh, found the cool kids.
Found the frat guys.
Oh, found the cool kids table. It's the 2 guys wearing headbands with hair past their necks.
Yeah,
and the one guy
and the one guy looks like Uncle Rico, which has always been pretty cool.
They're gonna rookie haze Lawrence, and they're gonna be like, "Hey man, grow a mustache."
Oh no, because you saw that whole thing right with that press conference after the game.
Yeah.
Hot mic on. Oh, poor Trevor needs to shave that. And then she realized she was on the mic, and she goes,
"Oh, he does have a mustache."
And she goes, mustache. and he's just, you probably pulled up, and he's just like,
I forgot about that.
Standing there, like, kind of like an awkward smile after a while, and he's like, and he's just like, thank you.
I didn't think about that.
He's such a nice guy. He wasn't going to say anything, but
they're going to make him grow a mustache again then for rookie hazing, I guarantee you.
Oh, I guarantee. Yeah, watch this shit. It's
a really good game.
Poor Trevor needs to shave his stash.
Please mute if you're not speaking.
Thank you.
Trevor needs to shave his
stash.
That's hardly a stash. It's kind of like a pencil stash.
It's like what Alex Pepper's got going on when he tries to do his thing.
That's right.
It's pretty much that.
Yeah, when he grows that thing, he may as well have the cheese touch too. Should I have just made the thumbnail Alex with the cheese? Like
no testosterone.
But no, so Urban Meyer, he's reached out to and spoke to former Falcons interim head coach Raheem Morris to gauge Morris's interest in being defensive coordinator in Jacksonville. I think that'd be a win. He was actually, if people remember, he used to be head coach of the Buccaneers for a little bit too. During the Josh Freeman days, if people can remember that era of Bucks ball, and then it was Dirk Cutter, and then Bruce Arians.
Dirk Cutter.
Dirk Cutter.
Turd Cutter.
Is that right? Like, hold on, am I missing a coach here?
No, that's just a funny
I feel
name.
like I'm missing a coach here. John Gruden, Raheem Morris, Greg Schiano.
That's what it was.
And then Lovie Smith. Lovie Smith coached the Bucks too.
Yeah.
Holy shit! I forgot about that. Well, it was forgettable. It was 8-24. Nice job, Lovie.
How could you forget?
Wow, Lovie Smith coached the Buccaneers.
What a tenure.
What a tenure. And then Dirk Cutter. And then Arians. That's fucking nuts. Yeah, Dirk Cutter is the OC for the Falcons now.
Interesting.
And then Raheem Morris was the DC for the Falcons. So they were both former Buccaneers coaches on the division rival team for the Falcons.
Crazy.
And he was the Buccaneers. He was actually a coach of the Buccaneers when they won the Super Bowl. A defensive quality control coach. Weird. Yeah, so that was interesting. Yeah, no, I think it'd be an interesting move. Good for him. Urban Meyer on the first pick of the NFL draft. Who we pick at that quarterback position, that's going to be one of the most important decisions in my lifetime. Do you fucking think?
So he's thinking about it. But the Justin Fields thing, since him saying that, he's thinking about it.
Brady, get your tinfoil hat ready.
Nope,
buddy.
he is thinking about it.
That tinfoil hat is firmly applied to his head right now.
Yeah, come on, dude. Why would you not come out and say who do you think we're going to pick?
When we do that draft show, if he takes Justin Fields...
I mean, am I the craziest man alive? Or I mean, that clearly says he's fucking thinking about it.
I got a chill just thinking about it.
Like, it could happen, man. This could fuck that whole draft up. It could go crazy.
Not will it into existence. Lions will spend today interviewing Bucks defensive coordinator Todd Bowles. Been a great DC for the Bucks. Remember, though, he has been a head coach before. He was a head coach for the Jets. I don't know that they made the playoffs with him there.
The Jets?
Yeah.
Playoffs?
Playoffs? We're trying to win a game.
Yeah. Talk about playoffs?
10-6, no playoffs, no postseason for him. 10-6,
close.
Literally 10-6, 5-11, 5-11, 4-12.
Hey, he went 10-6, man.
Yeah, with Fitzpatrick actually. That was when Fitzpatrick was with the Jets.
You see, man, Miami, you guys should have just stuck with the hot hand there.
Yeah, we'll see. Todd Bowles, funny enough, actually played for the Redskins when they won a Super Bowl.
No shit.
Super Bowl 22. Because the Chargers don't have a Super Bowl win, Super Bowl 22 is actually my favorite to watch because the Broncos get just blammed on.
Wait, you want to watch the other one where the Broncos get blammed on?
That one's good too.
That one's probably the worst.
I have more of a sentimental with that one because it's the Redskins are my dad's team.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Let's see here. Robert Saleh is the anti-Gase. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I would have to agree. Yeah, I think Gase was a little too conservative anyway, but
Robert Saleh is expected to make 49ers passing game coordinator Mike LaFleur. Too slow, LaFleur. As his offensive coordinator, per sources. There's a stat going around that Pat Mahomes had 16 dropped interceptions this year. Sports Info charted him with just 7. Big difference. Leaders: Kyler Murray 10, Breeze, Darnold, Foles, Big Ben 9, Bridgewater, Jackson 2, Mahomes, Ryan, Tannehill 7, Allen, Rodgers, Watson 6. You know who's not mentioned there? Air Bear.
I was surprised Russell Wilson wasn't in there.
Well, no, because all of his got caught.
Oh, dropped interceptions. Okay. I thought time's up. Okay, yes, you are very correct.
Falcons got Arthur Smith.
I think it's going to be a great coach. Very solid hire.
I think he's going to be a coach. Very coachy hire. Greater than Saleh? That's not nice. Apologize. Hiring the Titans OC to pair with your aging MVP QB who's been down with a bad play caller last few seasons. Worst 13-3 team coming for Atlanta. Oh yeah, because of
aging MVP.
Yeah, he was making a joke about the Packers because they did that last year.
Oh,
hiring the Titans OC to pair with your aging MVP quarterback who's been down with a bad play caller the last few seasons. Worst 13-3 team coming up for Atlanta.
Being facetious.
Better than being the best 3-13 team they've been. Somebody goes, I'd take a kick in the nuts over watching another Dirk Cutter drive. Solid hire makes that offense scary. Imagine that he drafts a running back like Derrick Henry for the Falcons offense. Najee Harris in the second round could be an option for Atlanta if they want.
Bro, I see they do that. Get rid of, or even just keep Gurley as a backup if you can. Actually, it'd probably be too. How expensive could Gurley be nowadays, right?
It's too, like, I believe he signed like a year for $6 million or something like that.
Okay, yeah, get rid of him.
Yeah. Let's see. Chargers can still get their guy too. They can hire Jason Garrett today. Somebody goes, they're deciding between Dable and Staley, right? Why'd you get downvoted for that? Those are my top two guys. You either get the Bills OC or a guy who can just fucking floor the gas pedal on a team and destroy them and help his quarterback out, or Brandon Staley, who's the Sean McVay of defense. So
you guys will get Garrett. That's a Chargers thing to do.
If we hire Garrett, I might boycott again.
Bro, this is the Chargers thing to do. How is that not already in the back of your mind? You don't already know that's what's going to happen.
I haven't heard us taking him in for a second. No, hear me out. I haven't heard us take him in for a second interview yet. And
that's good.
That's what gives me some hope.
Well, I just really hope that they look at that situation there and say, look, it hasn't worked out here. It hasn't worked out there. What makes him think it's going to work out here?
Well, Brandon transitioned.
The only guys that...
Where's Garrett at right now? He's a DC somewhere? Or an OC? Where is he at?
OC of the Giants.
Yeah, Giants. That's right.
Only 2 teams have interviewed Brian Dable, and one just hired Robert Saleh. The Chargers were the other team.
What?
Only 2 teams have interviewed Brian Dable, and one just hired Robert Saleh. The Chargers were the other team.
If that's the guy you really want, right?
Hope we get him. Yes. I think the only reason why we haven't announced it yet is because the Bills are still active. They're alive.
I really hope you get him too, man, because watching you suffer this season wasn't fun. It's always the worst when you have a fucking team you love.
Yeah.
You die hard for, and they don't do you any favors. It's not fun to watch. So I hope you get at least that. Because that's really all you guys are missing, in my opinion, is a coach who really knows what to do with the squad you got.
Yep.
You guys do have talent.
I think if we get Brian Dable and Wade Phillips on the defense,
yeah, I think you guys got some good years ahead of you for sure.
Somebody goes, "Hey guys, I'm very shaky about Dable. He's only had one really good year that I've seen. They seem to have improved from going into the booth. I know I might be worried for no reason because someone tried to change my mind."
Yeah, change his mind, Mike.
Shanahan was a booth guy, so that doesn't worry me. But what I like about current Dable is, as opposed to old Dable, is that he has taken analytics into account and has brought a modern-day playbook with lots of motions, misdirections, and schemes that just get people open. Also, after the Hail Mary loss against the Cardinals, he learned to never take his foot off the gas and started running up scores. And we desperately need a coach that will do that because I'm tired of one-possession games.
Dude, that's exactly what you need.
Literally, he tailors the offensive scheme to beat every specific defense every week, which I love. Here's a breakdown of how we out-schemed the Raiders. Video basically sold me on him being the one.
Well, because that's what your guys' problem was, right? Wasn't your guys' fucking problem was you guys kind of took the foot off the gas?
Every time. And honestly, I think that loss to the Patriots in the playoffs...
Who the fuck does that in the NFL?
Where they killed us, that fucked with Lynn bad.
But who the fuck does? Well, yeah, dude. It's like, yeah, and I think that's what Belichick was probably trying to prove.
Yeah.
To him, like, hey, this is how you fucking coach, dude.
Again, he did it again with the 0-45 too. It's like,
you don't fucking let up.
You don't
This is the NFL, dude. These are the best players in the world playing right here.
Herm Edwards has an all-time quote. You play to win the game.
Exactly.
You don't play not...
This isn't fucking high school where you're up by fucking, so many and then you fucking put the C squad in. This isn't that.
You play to win. This guy plays not to lose. And that's why he loses.
He plays to just kind of...
Look at all these. 20-23 to the Chiefs. That was when we gave Mahomes the ball back with 4 minutes to go.
Yeah, you know how that
16-21 against the Panthers. That was the hook and ladder play that failed. 31-38 when we were up, I believe 24-7 at the half. 27-30 against the Saints. 39-29 we beat the Jaguars. 30-31 that was the last play,
that.
And that was when I said
watched that
fuck, because
that's where it started with you, where you were like, fuck this team.
26-31, a touchdown called back that wasn't a touchdown. 21-29 to the Dolphins. Then we beat the Jets. Go. Who cares? Then we lose to the Bills, a better team.
Sure.
Blown out by the Patriots.
Weird.
And then we win out. But but still the wins.
There was so many. There was too many games in there where you guys should have won.
Outside of blowing out the Chiefs' second squad,
hands down, should have been a playoff team.
The wins were close too. We almost gave up. We gave up possession twice to the Falcons and almost lost that one. We had to go.
The Falcons almost pulled the Falcons on you.
Had to go to OT to beat the Raiders. We gave up a lead, a 13-point lead to the Broncos, and had to beat them on a last-second field goal.
Was that when they had?
That's asinine.
No, that's not.
That's absolute asinine.
I was gonna say, was that when they had a wide receiver as a fucking quarterback?
No. I believe Locke was out there, but we were up, dominating 3/4 of that game, and then it's like we get the Broncos 13 points back. It's like, what are you fucking doing?
Yeah. Well, I mean, Seahawks do the same fucking thing, but we usually win those games.
Right. I don't know.
It's not pretty, but that's usually what happens.
Let's get into basketball, shall we? Because
we went on a tirade there for football.
We had some big stuff happen.
First and foremost,
the Harden trade, which
big three.
Let me find the exact terms for that because it was huge. James Harden.
Oh, the actual exact trade deal.
Yeah,
the blockbuster.
So James Harden blockbuster trade. Just stop with your guilt tripping me for ad blocker, you assholes. Okay, so in the trade, it was a 3-way trade between Brooklyn, Houston, and Cleveland. Nets sent center Jared Allen and forward Taurean Prince to Cleveland, guard Karis LeVert and forward Rodions Kurucs, as well as 3 first-round picks, 22, 24, and 26, and 4 first-round pick swaps, 21, 23, 25, and 27 to Houston. The Rockets also got Dante Exum and a 2022 first-round pick from Cleveland via Milwaukee. And Brooklyn acquires a 2024 second-round pick from the Cavs to complete the deal. Mm-hmm. The deal will reportedly include a 4th team, the Pacers, but the ad aspect of the deal has not been made official yet. The Pacers will get Karis LeVert and a future second-round pick from the Rockets in exchange for all-star guard Victor Oladipo.
So that actually happened.
Boom. Boom, boom, boom. Big fucking trade there.
So we've been talking, me and you, other people, about our opinions on it. So my thing with it is good for Houston because obviously Harden, he wasn't giving it his all there. He wasn't getting the job done. He's been controversy after controversy. Wasn't working out.
He came in fat.
Yeah, first of all, he came in fat. Like he was hanging out the fucking strip club, eating chicken wings with Lou Will.
He's rocking a dad gut, running around there. And yeah, he put up like 32 and 33 points, but then he's like, no, it's good. It's all good, Houston. I want out, And then John Wall goes, man, you're out of this after 9 games, and he goes, I was out of this before the season even started.
He didn't want to be any part of that.
He held his ground and said, I'm done. But it's like, what has he done for them?
Nothing. And I think a lot of other people agree with this. And so
he's pissed off every other great role player that they've had there, and then
some
blown it in the playoffs.
Yeah,
to mostly the same team year in and year out.
Yeah, I think Houston wins on this based on what they got for him. I was more than I thought was going to happen, and that's good for them because obviously Harden wasn't going to play there, and it wasn't going to be pleasant. But I don't know if this is a good look for Brooklyn.
Right.
I liked Karis LeVert over there. I thought him behind these other guys, DeAndre Jordan, Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant, right? Yep. I mean, we saw glimpses of it in the bubble of Karis LeVert coming out playing tough. Anyway, so
he went bucket for bucket with Dame.
Yeah. He's going to be a great player. But not even that. Harden going to the Nets, which we already were saying the Nets, they got just as good as a shot at the championship as any other team.
Yep.
Especially in the East. Like, they're definitely, in my opinion, the top suitors for the East. Harden going in there, okay, him and KD, they're rekindling that relationship back from, the Sonics. He plays hero ball, man, and I've always said this about Harden. He likes to dribble a lot. That's one thing, too. I just don't know how that chemistry is going to work with all three of those guys, and it could be good. I don't know. He's so much drama and so much negativity around him. Does that locker room presence does that just like drag the team down? Do they mesh? I don't know. That's my opinion on it. I don't know if it was that great for Brooklyn to do, but I think the Rockets, it needed to be done. Obviously, he was done there. What's the sense of holding on to a guy who doesn't even want to be a part of that organization anymore?
What can bring Brooklyn down is the personalities.
Now, and you got Kyrie Irving, right?
That's the thing. Durant is not going to be a problem. He wasn't a problem on Golden State. He wasn't a problem on the Thunder.
Okay, so no, he's never been a problem.
He left the Thunder quietly. He didn't put up a fuss like Anthony Davis did.
It wasn't very quiet, but
I mean, it wasn't quiet when he made his move, but he wasn't making a big fuss with the ownership or anything like that. Like what?
No, he came out and said, "I want to go chase a ring."
He's like, "I'm ready." Yeah, but
no, I'm not saying anything wrong with it. I don't agree with it.
You look at the grand scheme of guys who have left. Harden recently, AD wearing his shirt, shitting on the Pelicans organization.
They want theirs right now.
KD did it with a little more grace than some of the guys who have done it since him. But you gotta deal with the personalities in Kyrie Irving and James Harden.
So it could be a good thing for the Nets, though, because who knows? Who knows? I mean, Kyrie came out and said he's excited to get back, and he's excited that Harden's there. But before that, who knows? Maybe they're picking up Harden as an insurance thing because of they don't know where Kyrie's at.
What's going to happen if they drop 3 of their next 4
games?
Are people going to freak out now?
Sure.
Yeah,
probably. They will. I think they will. I think they will be like, "What the fuck?" And I don't disagree with that, but can't see that happening.
I mean, let's be honest about Harden though, because I understand his frustration.
Mm-hmm.
He had to come up against essentially the same roadblock every year except until last year. But let's be real. If the Warriors don't exist, Houston probably goes to those finals. Or it comes down to Houston.
Man.
It comes down to Houston and the Clippers, and I bet you they go to all 4 of those finals, and then LeBron wins 4 rings.
But look at the guys Harden's pushed out, like Chris Paul.
Yeah.
Russell Westbrook.
But what I'm meaning is, he hasn't gotten it done in the playoffs, but even if his main roadblock in Golden State was gone, I guarantee you...
It was the Lakers this year.
But what I'm saying is, if it's Houston... I'm talking about before last season. If it's Houston versus Cleveland and / Toronto, those 5 years, I don't think they win a single finals. I think
Houston?
I think LeBron wins 4 rings.
And I think, fuck yeah.
And I think Kyrie still gets one. Or not Kyrie, Kawhi still gets another one.
Oh, yeah. No, for sure.
And that comes down to the way Harden is in the playoffs. That's a Harden thing.
And then you see him, he gets so frustrated and just so like toxic as far as like supposed to be the leader of that team. Like you're supposed to hold your head high, keep your composure. Harden's not that guy.
Well, that's why
Harden's a guy who will just you point the finger, man.
Brooklyn can do it. It's gonna take Harden understanding that he being the number one isn't getting him anything.
No, he needs to play a different role.
He needs to be the number 2.
Yep. KD at the 1.
KD at the 1. And I'm not talking like in basketball terms. I'm talking in terms of rankings
of just the team or the rankings. Sure.
KD's the first, Harden 2, Kyrie 3. And then you go from there.
Kyrie, Harden.
When Harden is inspired and he's playing, it's hard to find another guy who can play better offense than him.
And then I could say the same thing about Kyrie as far as that position as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Kyrie, in my opinion, when he's all in and he's focused just on basketball, nothing else, holy shit. But one of my favorite point guards to ever play the game.
People have to understand their spot on the team, their role, what they do, and understand that.
And I think, though,
in the case of Harden,
do you think Harden's finally realizing that, and that's why? Like, he's got to expect that, right? Like, going to Brooklyn, he knows he's not going to be the hot shot number 1.
He's going to have to because
he's got to know.
They gave him what he wanted, but now he has to sit there, eat a little crow, and say, all right, I'm not the,
I think that's where it's at, though. I think that's what he wants. I think he's doing what KD did. He's doing what LeBron did. He's doing what these other guys. Well, not LeBron, because LeBron's obviously like the number. But you know what I mean? Like
take the back seat. Chris Paul's doing it right now.
Right. Play your role, knowing that you have other guys on the cast who are going to help you elevate your game to where you guys are going to win a championship.
AD did it.
That's great.
Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Take the back seat. Understand that you're not riding the bench. That you're still a big part of this team.
No,
you're
ride
not
the bench.
But you're not the biggest part of this team. But you're not the only part of this team. And zip your mouth and play some fucking basketball.
I think he has to realize that. Otherwise, why else would he be? Why else would Brooklyn be the number 1 place he wants to go? Right? Like he knows, like this is strictly me wanting to get this out of the way. This championship, I want it.
Well, and him and Russ didn't work out, but we know Russ is an all-time stat patter anyway.
Yeah,
Kevin, there's a difference between being a stat patter and being a guy who makes the whole team better. Durant makes the whole team better. Russ is a stat patter who gets blown up in the first round of the playoffs every year.
And Russ, there's guys who are clutch, and then there's guys who are Russell Westbrook. Man, he is no clutch gene in his body.
He had an incredible regular season a few years ago.
He will continue to have probably great regular seasons.
He ain't having one right now.
No, but not with this squad.
I wonder if the Wizards put him on their Reddit page yet. I don't think so.
Oh, bro, they gotta be. That's all they gotta be talking about.
He's on their sidebar, but he's actually not even on their cup. They've still got John Wall there. He's not even on there
because there's no Wizards fans. That's a myth.
It's John Wall,
it's definitely not even a
Gilbert
thing.
Arenas, and Bradley Beal.
No chill, Gil.
And I'm not gonna lie, I like Bradley Beal a lot more than I like Russell Westbrook.
Yeah, Beal. I think Beal is definitely the all around. Yeah, you said, Westbrook's a stat patter.
He's all-time stat patter.
Yeah. Which is whatever, man. That's what you want to do with your game.
Washington Wizards are now.
Nobody's gonna remember that.
5 players who have tested positive for coronavirus. Wizards. Yep.
I'm trying to think if I had anybody on my fantasy roster.
I've got Denny.
I know Phoenix is in trouble. They have games postponed again. It's fucking pissing me off.
I hate COVID, dude.
COVID sucks.
I hate China.
And now I know China sucks too.
I'm saying this on the podcast. I don't care.
Yeah, I'm annoyed.
I hate China right now. I'm like a boomer. I just
new strain found in Ohio that originated in the U.S. now. It's like Jesus Christ.
Thanks a lot, China.
Yeah,
appreciate it.
God damn it. But yeah, Brooklyn Nets, man. We were talking with a buddy at work that we had, Haim. He's diehard Brooklyn Nets fan, and he did not like. He didn't even know because I was talking to Tyler Hogbid.
Yeah,
and Haim was right there in the area. I was like, oh, yeah, you see Harden went to Brooklyn? I was like, what? He goes, fuck no, man.
Oh, LeBron.
We don't need that guy.
Come on, LeBron.
What?
LeBron James leaving Coke, set to sign deal with Pepsi. What a Benedict Arnold.
Hey, I like both.
No, actually, I've always preferred Coke since I was a kid, and I kept talking about it, and
Oh, because Sprite's a Coke product, isn't it?
yep. Oh,
The big Sprite commercials.
yes,
and shit.
and LeBron Six Mix or whatever he used to have.
Yeah.
That was a good Sprite, by the way. It was essentially Sprite remix in a LeBron themed can.
Damn, no more Sprite from LeBron because him and the rapper Drum.
Yes.
Yeah, they did like it wasn't even that long ago. They did a commercial about.
So, man, that's well. Hey, didn't Sprite do a thing with Ray Shremmer, the Limonade or whatever? I thought.
Oh,
that was
yeah,
a
they did
commercial
too.
with Ray Shremmer.
Ray Shremmer.
Here's the thing, though.
Drake had Sprite shit going too.
Oh, he did. Yeah, that one funny commercial where he takes a drink of Sprite and then his head goes.
Yeah,
like a game of perfection.
Yeah.
And then he like.
Yeah. Speaking of LeBron, you remember the LeBron double bubble?
LeBron's Lightning Lemonade.
The best, Hubba Bubba I've ever
gum,
had in my life.
Dude, that gum ruled. There's an ad for it. I remember the first time I lived in this house, man. I was like 10, and I got a brand new. Oh, man, this is something that I missed that the internet killed. But I had a Game Pro magazine.
Oh my god,
Game Pro.
Me and my brother used to read. We used to get those in the mail monthly.
And because like Game Informer these days is not good. They're like they just shill games because
Yeah.
obviously they're the GameStop magazine now.
Yep.
But Game Pro.
Me and my brother used to read.
That
we
was
used
a
to go through those
fun-
all the time. Every
I
month.
had one that was for Budokai 3. My dad, the St. Helens market before it became like a rundown, like
launch. Was it Chinese food or something? Or
No,
laundromat?
no. That's a different market.
Oh,
but there was the St. Helens one, the little corner store, like off of like if you're gonna go to work, okay, if you're going to work on 26th and you take a left, it's like right there. It's got like the mural on the side.
Oh yeah.
Okay, that store used to be kind of cool.
No, I know exactly what store you're talking about now.
And now it looks like it's been cleared out for a zombie apocalypse.
Yeah.
It looks like shit. But
you're not talking about Hem? No, not Hem.
it used to be like by a hair. There used to be like a hair salon next to it.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
a police station.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, it's now. Yeah. Have you been in that one lately?
I haven't been in there in about 5 years.
It's scary.
But 5 years
It's
ago,
scary in there.
It looked like it had been.
It looks like it was from like, what's that fucking show?
The Walking Dead.
Yeah, something boarded up.
Reminded me of the first Telltale Walking Dead game. You're in a old pharmacy store.
Yeah, the guy who works there is
in
like this
Georgia.
big old dude. He's like always grumpy and shit.
And the whole
like,
store was wiped.
They don't even have credit card readers. It's like it's really they like take your number down like manually. I'm like, is this legal?
Dude, how is that store still open?
I don't ever go there.
I
I drive past there to go to like Miller's or something else.
Miller's is great, but
Yeah.
when I was a kid, we went there and they had a magazine rack because like me and my buddy Sean, we used to look. They used to get the Yu-Gi-Oh magazine.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And we'd read and look at the new cards and tell the lady, be like, "You can't read those. You gotta buy that."
Oh yeah.
And
writing down the cheat codes for the game.
Yeah. And my dad got me one. It was a Game Pro. It had for Dragon Ball Z Budokai 3, it had Super Saiyan 4 Goku on it.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember once I got that magazine for about 3 months, I was like, oh my god, I got it for Christmas. If I could get the PS2 and this for Christmas, oh my god, because my dad was an Xbox guy, so that we had the PS2 just sitting there not doing anything. If I had the PS2 and this, boy, I don't think you'd ever hear from me again. I'll tell you that
That'd
much.
be the best. That'd be the best boy around.
And I got that PS2 and Budokai 3 brand new for
Crazy.
Christmas.
Nice,
but
dude.
there was another Game Pro magazine I got. It was like previewing. Here's how old this was. March 05. It previewed Devil May Cry 3, God of War, Jade Empire. It was like all the action games that were coming out for 05.
Yeah, that was a great year for those.
It was a fucking awesome year for those. And I remember reading that, and in the review section, there was like, they used to do these ads. They would do them in like 3 parts. So you'd have your reviews here, and then on the edge, the right edge of the page, it would be like a column ad. And it would be like for a video game or the Truth Campaign, Smoking Kills or whatever. And one of them, it was like, shows LeBron, and it's like, it's good to be the king.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like blowing a bubble.
Yeah.
And then you flip it over and it says, it's good to be the kid. And like the bubble is popped in his face.
Yep.
And then it was like, you flip it over and it's like LeBron's Lightning Lemonade. And it was everywhere.
I remember, I chewed so much of that gum.
Yeah.
It was like my favorite gum of all time.
But that's marketing working for kids our age.
Yeah.
Like for you grew, see, because I didn't get into basketball till I was about a teenager. But you were into it a little younger, so you were loving Steve Nash and LeBron and those guys.
Yep.
So you're sitting there going, LeBron, give me that shit. Like,
oh, for sure, anything. Like I still have the DVD copy at my house somewhere in the garage. It's the documentary. I forgot. It's called the last game, something like that.
Yeah.
LeBron documentary of his growing up and his high school basketball tenure that they fucking went on a run there at St. Mary's. Really, really great documentary to show where he came from, all the controversy and bullshit he had to go through, and then how he made it into the NBA. Really cool film. He's still friends with all those dudes that he played with.
all I can think of is Daniel Tosh.
But like, it was like a weird. I was so obsessed with LeBron as a kid. So obsessed.
Tosh joking about LeBron, and he goes, "Yeah, Cleveland, you guys act like, you know, you're like scorn lovers that LeBron left you." He goes, "First of all, he's not even from Cleveland. He's from Akron, which is like a worse Cleveland."
Yeah.
And he goes, and
like
then we
the worst
forget,
part of
you
Cleveland.
guys all gave this kid, and yes, he was a kid. Everybody forgets that because he looked like he was 40 since he was 7. He goes, "You guys gave this kid so much hell when he left, but could you blame him?"
Yeah.
It was like less a joke and more him just being real about Cleveland being mean to him.
Yeah, man, it was, and that's why he gets so much shit about leaving. But it's like, dude, what do you expect?
Well,
man?
I'm gonna give him shit about leaving Coke for Pepsi because I'm gonna tell you right now, Pepsi's an inferior product. I did a blind taste test.
Inferior.
I did a blind taste test because I guess I was annoying Ken to death about how I'm like. I could tell. I guarantee you I could tell blind because Coke is so much better. Because we had Pepsi in the house.
I know I can tell.
Pepsi 12-packs go on sale all the time and Cokes don't. I wonder why. And I was drinking a Pepsi and just like, this isn't... And we did a blind taste test. Mm-hmm. And I got we even threw... we did it once with just Coke and Pepsi. Then we threw RC in there. I got Coke right every time.
Yeah.
I couldn't even tell the difference. I couldn't tell the difference between Pepsi and RC. I don't know what that says about RC or Pepsi, but I could get the Coke out of there.
One of you is doing it right, or one of you is doing it wrong.
It's just better than Pepsi. Like LeBron, where's your integrity, man?
Hey,
like, you know.
See, I'm a diet guy, so I like Diet Pepsi.
Hey, I'm drinking Diet Sunkist right now.
I like Diet Pepsi. I like Diet Coke. They're like pretty damn similar when they're diet, but when they're regular, I like both Coke, Pepsi. I think I would prefer a regular Coke over a regular Pepsi.
A regular Coke. Here's the science behind cola for anybody who needed to know this on a sports podcast. Cola is basically a fusion of citrus and spice.
Yeah.
And where you can tell the difference, Coke has more spice. Coke has more spice. Yeah. And Pepsi has more citrus. Mm-hmm. And with Coke, what I get every time I drink it, and you could smell it if you know what you're looking for, is I get a hint of nutmeg, almost cinnamon.
Okay.
When you drink it, it's bizarre.
Yeah.
But
when I don't drink
when
regular
you
pop like that. Like I said, I drink Diet Pop.
These days, I drink a regular Coke.
I don't even really drink pop anyway at all anymore.
I was gonna say, I think
I drink beer.
All I have is Diet Pop right now in the house. Ken's got Dr. Pepper, which I don't touch, but I've got Diet Sunkist, Diet Canada Dry, and Tab is going away, and I'm
going expired.
I'm really sad, man. I'm gonna have to go buy up whatever I can find because when it's gone, it's
gonna be a relic.
Yeah, and don't ask me why I like it. I think what started it as is there's a show I love called Harvey Birdman, Attorney at Law. And he's like, there's an episode where he's just sitting at a bar drinking Tab. It's so stupid. Drinking Tab. And then he like fantasizes about this soda and how there's like a live action him and then a live action person in a big can of Tab costume. And they're frolicking on the beach and holding each other and stuff. And I thought that was so funny that I started drinking it ironically. even though because I thought it tasted like medicine, and then over time, almost like
became your medicine.
Almost like a soda Stockholm syndrome. I was just like, wow, this is really good.
Yeah.
And now I love it.
Yeah.
And I can't get enough of it, and I'm sad it's gone. It's gonna be gone.
Yeah. Soda, I used to drink it all the time. I do still every now and then, but something I can live without now.
Oh no, James Wiseman pulled bull on a poster.
Just like Nurkic did last year.
Watch this.
That's not as bad as the Nurkic one. The Nurkic one last year in the bubble was crazy.
Pardon me, I'm going to watch that again.
Oh, yeah. Your boy showed up for me last night. He got me 35 points.
Wiseman?
Yeah.
Hey, good.
Yeah.
KD went from the Splash Brothers to the Dribble Brothers.
Yeah, this is what I was talking about. This is what I was talking about. Kyrie likes to dribble, and so does fucking Harden.
Harden got done dirty during last night's Shackton. I got to watch that.
Number 3, Lakers, Rockets. So many missed dunks had Harden in the New York state of mind. Oh, my God. Yeah.
Montrez?
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, no.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh, my God. How do I get out of here?
Oh, my God.
How you
What in the fuck is going on?
Oh, that's Kenyon Martin, son? Jr. Yeah. What up, Junior?
Aldridge. No, not Aldridge.
Lakers,
Oh, we don't need to say
Okay.
that, but
No, dude, honestly, Harden's so ugly without that beard.
yeah, man, that's rough. So yeah, we'll see what he does. What is this? Are people shitting on Draymond? Draymond Green is averaging
Is that a
4,
surprise?
5, 6 on 28, 20, 64 so far this season. He turns 31 in a couple months, and a contract extension he signed in 2019 means he is owed roughly $100 million. Oh fuck, through 2024. He's averaging a career low 26.9 minutes a game, and he missed a combined 50 games over the last 3 seasons. All this to say, I think Draymond's contract is. Excuse me. Whoa. Whoa. It's looking pretty rough. Yeah, it was rough for the Warriors right now.
I wanted to bring that up, Mike.
Yikes.
Draymond doesn't fucking look good anymore.
Yeah, he didn't look good last year either.
I know.
But
I want to bring this up.
Listen,
like,
that
he
doesn't-
hasn't looked good since you guys won a championship.
Hey, you know what else doesn't look good? Nurkic's wrist.
No, it doesn't. And
See, now we're both unhappy.
I wanted to cry last night.
Well, so he's gonna.
I saw what happened.
He's not out for the season. He's
probably
gonna,
like 6 weeks.
8 weeks.
Okay,
at least 8 weeks. That's 2 months.
Still,
he could be back.
That makes that Cantor pickup that much more
in fantasy.
important. Not even in fantasy.
Oh, I guess. Well, for me in fantasy.
For you in fantasy,
yeah.
for sure. But for the Blazers, yes, that was huge. That came in clutch, and maybe they saw that coming because Nurkic he's had a little history of injury, but no, dude, I saw the play and I thought it was a finger, like kind of what Damian Lillard had going on in the bubble last year. He had his finger get by somebody's shoe, but he tried to like block a shot and like hit the ball and kind of holding his wrist like that weird, but that sucks.
It's like this Atlanta Hawks Civil War.
Oh God! But 8 weeks, 8 weeks. We can, hopefully. But my only worry is Nurkic has been lighting it up, keeping us in these games.
Yeah.
So now that we don't have him, I'm afraid we're going to start going on a losing streak. I really hope not. But really, so we got Cantor and then Giles.
Yep.
Giles, he's been getting more minutes that I've been seeing. As each game goes on, he's been getting a little more play in there, which he will certainly probably be getting more. Him and Cantor will probably be substituting.
Yeah.
But Blazers have been going with the small ball a lot lately. So, I don't know. But Nurkic, get healthy, man. We need you. We love you, Bosnian Beast.
Try to drink them all at the same time.
The hell?
No, don't tell him that. Yeah, he's going to get soaked.
Shaq's drinking 2 bottles of water at once.
Do we have another segment?
Why wouldn't he?
Soak. It's easy. Oh,
I love
It's easy.
Bad.
That is impressive.
Dude.
That is impressive.
That's some hydration
That's a little suspect,
right there.
Shaq.
Hey,
Shaq's the
I'ma
water
tell you,
champ.
hey, that's gonna be a meme. That's all I'm gonna tell you, Chad.
Yeah, it's a little suspect.
He could have finished.
Have
it
you
if he
seen
had-
him like hold a bottle of water?
I just fucking saw him hold 5 bottles of water in one hand.
Whereas one of us can hold one like this.
Oh, dude.
Shaq's big digits. He like holds it like this.
No, did you see Kawhi? The meme about Kawhi, he had like was casually holding like 2 water bottles on the bench or something.
I need to see that.
It's fucking hilarious.
That's
or when they asked him about his what's one of the worst things about having big hands, he goes, "Oh, can't fit them in my pockets."
Kawhi Leonard is so goofy.
Like, okay,
like
dude,
you can't not
that's what you say
like that.
No, I know it's hilarious.
Okay, we get it, Kawhi. You have big hands. The claw. They're calling it the claw.
No, they call him the claw.
They call it with a K though. The
Yeah,
claw
they call him the claw
versus a normal sized Gatorade bottle. Look at that fucking mitt, dude.
I know, dude.
Holy moly!
Reminds me of my grandpa.
That guy's got hands.
My grandpa's got big old. We call
That guy's got
call him mitts.
giant hands, dude.
My grandpa, he'll be sleeping at night. I guess my grandma says.
The claw's the law.
And she goes, "And all I see when he's sleeping at night is his big old paws like this over the blankets."
Dude.
He sleeps like this with his paws over the blankets.
Who does that? Like Squidward? Like Squidward tentacles?
Literally like Squidward.
Look at that, though.
Yeah, look, dude. It's like a goddamn predator or fucking alien or something, dude.
He's got two things like wrapped around his fingers. And here's like
He's a
dude.
He's a raptor, dude.
He's got slack on those fingers.
Oh
too.
yeah,
Like,
dude. He's got
there's-
some give there too. That's not. That ain't the full thing,
like
man.
those are comfortable. They're not going anywhere.
Yeah, no, that's not like he's he's like trying.
It's all right. Have you seen? What's his, I watched it. I read a GQ interview of with Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
You seen that guy's feet?
Yeah.
Dude,
he got some club feet, dude.
That guy's got like Krusty the Clown feet.
Dude,
man.
he's got some big old. I bet you he wears like a size like what, 17, 18?
Dude, it's
I mean, this dude has got some
dude.
claw. Whoa.
Those are feet.
Bro, I
That's
guarantee that's
the picture.
bigger than my head.
That's the picture. That's the one from the magazine though.
Bruh. What?
That dude has feet.
Whoa, that's definitely fucking fake.
That's not fake.
They look like a goddamn hockey stick.
That's his feet.
That looks like a fucking hockey stick.
That's his feet though.
No.
Man. Yeah, dude. Look at that how big his shoe is compared to the child.
Bigger than his torso.
Dude, yes. Wider, yes, longer than his torso.
No, Kevin Durant is a freak of nature. His body type is like a perfect basketball body type.
Yeah, dude's insane. He's awesome.
Like it's him and LeBron. They have like the perfect bodies for basketball.
You know, if
he's just so lank. He's like Lanky Kong.
If we get the Sonics back in 3 years or something like that, you think he makes a homecoming to Seattle? Because by then
if they have a chance at a ring.
By then the Brooklyn stuff will be done.
If they have a chance at a ring, yeah.
Yeah, but he'll bring friends.
Oh yeah, that's what I mean. If he has a chance at a ring, for sure.
No way he doesn't.
He'll probably bring Harden because they're hanging out, and they'll probably say Westbrook, fuck off. Because you didn't get any better. We did. You didn't.
Fuck off.
I mean, come on. Out of those three, who got better? Harden and fucking Durant. Westbrook? No.
Yeah.
No.
I don't know, man. It's weird. So, do we want to talk about divisional round?
Yeah, we do.
Let's do it. Let's do the divisional round real quick. Let me go here. Here.
Because I have some predictions that may not be what everybody else is thinking.
So, Rams and Packers, you essentially have the highly vaunted Rams defense versus the highly vaunted Packers offense. Aaron Rodgers pretty much expected to be MVP this year.
If not him, Josh Allen.
Now, John Walford, he will be out for the game. It's going to be Goff starting just right off the bat. Interesting.
Why wouldn't it be?
Now, something to pay attention to, and this could mean good for the Rams. Packers in practice a couple weeks ago lost their offensive tackle, their left tackle, Joel Bitonio. I'm sorry, not Joel Bitonio. I'm sorry, David Bakhtiari. I get the two mixed up. He's done for the year. They signed Jared Veldier, who was playing for the Colts. So Veldier got signed to the Colts practice squad in December, got called up for the wild card game, and this is post. He had said he retired, and then the Packers signed him. And the only reason why he could sign with the Packers is because he was a practice squad player for the Colts. So he would set to become the first player to play in 2 playoff games for different teams. Unfortunately, I believe they said he's got COVID.
That sucks.
So he won't be active. No left tackle for Aaron Rodgers. That could be trouble, especially when you've got the Rams defense being what it was and what they showed out to be last week.
Well,
yeah,
I don't know. I think the Packers still take this one. No disrespect to the Rams because they're a solid good team.
I'm gonna go Rams because left tackles are. I just not that you're no offense. Not that Seattle's O-line is anything to shake a stick at.
No.
But the way that Rams defense absolutely decimated y'all and made Russell Wilson a top 5 quarterback look just helpless.
But this is what I see from the Rams. They're not consistent enough with that.
I think
they do that for a game and then they fall off for 3 and then they come back and do it for 2 games and then they fall off for 4.
Aaron Donald's dealing with torn rib cartilage, will play. But the thing is, him just being there because they
torn cartilage ain't anything to worry about.
Ask my brother. He's Nathan's dealing with that. He lifts old people in and out of bed for a living.
And he's still doing
it. He hates it, but he's still doing it. But the thing is with him, he was gone most of that second half, which gave the Seahawks some life, even though they didn't capitalize on it as much as we thought they should.
They should have.
But him just being there makes some of those guys look like all pros. Leonard Floyd looked every bit the 9th overall pick in the 2016 draft that he should have been for Chicago. And he looked every bit of that last week. I think him just being there makes that team better. I don't know. I gotta see. The Packers are definitely playing better than they did last year. But I just go by that mantra: defense wins championships.
Well, you see, this is what I was gonna say. Is what you got to look forward to for this game is you don't have a defense in the Packers, right?
Right.
Their defense.
But
bottom five.
Goff can be pretty sus at times.
He can be sus.
But do we see a repeat in Cam Akers' scorching game last week? Or do they focus on the run and bottle him up?
I think they solely focus on the run and bottle him up. Only because I don't think Goff and his receiver Cooper Kupp. Besides Cooper Kupp
could be hurt though too.
Yes, that's right, because he did get a little injured in that last game. So actually, this could be favorable for the Packers.
I'm focusing on the run.
You focus on the run first and foremost.
Because you're also
that's
banking
the first
on
thing you focus on.
Jared Goff is less than 3 weeks removed from having pins put in his thumb.
But he played
very good.
He did have a couple throws there.
In fact, he gets my trophy of manly toughness for coming in and playing 12 days removed from getting pins put in his thumb and winning.
Yes.
Taylor Heineke is my runner-up for the Manly Toughness Trophy.
But Goff did have some suspect throws there. Literally because you could tell it was because of that thumb. The only thing I say is I don't care. Yes, left tackle plays a big part for the quarterback to be productive.
Ooh, listen to this.
But you can't tell me they're not going to put somebody in there that's not going to affect Aaron Rodgers by that much.
Bears fan here. Leonard Floyd loves to play the Packers. In 8 games versus the Packers, he's recorded 7.5 sacks and 10 QB hits. He could be the X factor in this game where Aaron Donald's nursing some torn cartilage, and that offense is going to need a little bit of, they're going to need more help from the defense again. This will be interesting, but I'm just taking. I got to go defense. I'm taking the Rams.
That's fine. I'm going offense, and that's really all you've needed to be said about the Packers this season. Is they have one of the most explosive offenses besides Kansas City.
Seahawks wide receiver Josh Gordon's conditional reinstatement has been rescinded. He is now suspended again indefinitely.
I wonder why.
Shit or get off the pot with this guy. Come on.
But why?
I don't know.
because I thought, from what I heard, was the NFL is okay with people.
Josh Gordon when he saw Alden Smith and Randy Gregory get reinstated,
Yeah.
but not him.
But from what I heard is the NFL, marijuana's not a problem anymore.
Somebody goes, as someone who was addicted and overdosed on weed, I was pulling for him. Hope he's okay.
Well, right. Like, so that's obviously can't be the problem anymore, right?
I don't know.
Is it PDE? Is it PEDs, or is it something else? What's the holdup, and why do they never give us the actual statement of what's happening? They just say these things, like very. You don't really know what's going on. They saying he's not get reinstated because of problems, but what's the problem? Anyway, Josh Gordon, just whatever. We don't need any more receivers. As a Hawks fan,
I think the Josh Gordon window is shut.
It's done.
He had one season, his rookie year, where we got to see what he had and done. If not for that season where he led the league in the NFL, where he led the NFL in receiving, he would be right up there with like Justin Blackmon in terms of just.
I don't know if he's done though.
Potential.
I don't know if he's done though, because
he's 29, that's fine. But man, is he not like the Ricky Williams of our generation?
But it was always because of marijuana, and
that's what I mean.
But now they're saying it's okay. You can smoke marijuana in the NFL. So what the fuck is the actual problem? Why can he not be reinstated?
I'm thinking he's testing positive for more than marijuana.
That's what I'm saying. Like, why are they not releasing that?
And they're keeping it under the rug.
Why?
But he spent 3 full seasons now suspended. He played from, 2017 through 2019. He has played a grand total of 28 games.
Yeah. So I think Seahawks, if you're smart, move off of it, whatever. We don't need him.
No.
We got DK Metcalf. We got Tyler Lockett. We got Swain. He coming into his own. DJ Moore, he has his games.
Swain had a great catch.
Or David Moore, he has his games.
One of the few bright spots of that wild card game, Swain had a beautiful grab toward the end.
So we're not hurting for receivers, so it's not going to hurt us. I just wish we could have got more out of him from the start, but whatever.
But every time you guys get a big ticket,
is it not
receiving option that you don't draft,
everything gets exposed,
dude? Whether it's Jimmy Graham not being used, or Josh Gordon not staying out of trouble, or it's it's like, come on, just figure it out.
It's a Seahawks curse, man.
Ravens, Bills. I want the Bills to win this thing, and I think they will.
They will, man.
But
I mean, come on.
I'm not gonna pick the Ravens. This is the upset alert for me, though.
Who's the upset?
I think the Ravens could upset the Bills here.
Do you think that's the upset?
I want the Bills to win, but I think the Ravens could upset the Bills because, for one, they're quiet, even though they're in the final 8.
I don't think the Ravens are bad. I just think they got hindered by injuries again.
They're quiet. They got hindered
Lamar
by injuries.
Jackson didn't show out till the second half of the season.
And right about the time they were 6-5, and we were saying, I don't think Lamar makes the playoffs.
And then he takes a big dookie at halftime.
He took a shit, and he's been amazing.
Yeah.
They went on a 5-win streak, 6 now. When you factor in the playoffs. He takes that shit.
Yep. That was the shit he needed to get out the whole year.
Against the Cowboys, and they've been the best that they've been all year.
Yeah.
I think that they're cruising real hard right now. And don't get me wrong, Buffalo.
But the Buffalo defense is so great.
I think Buffalo
offensively, you got Stephon Diggs, you got Allen.
Buffalo's won 7 in a row. Baltimore's
Zach Moss is starting to turn some heads.
Baltimore's won 6 in a row. Buffalo's won 7 in a row.
It's gonna be a great matchup.
I think Buffalo will win, but of the upsets to happen, I think the Ravens is most likely.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
Just Lamar's getting it done now. Like, that guy must have had something, man. That guy, yeah. So anyhow,
he was constipated.
He was clogged up, man.
Yeah.
Like, because I'll tell you what, he's looked lighter since he took
sure.
that shit.
He looks like he lost 10 pounds.
That guy, I think what happened to Lamar is he ate a lot of cheese.
That'll do it.
This is why I think that's what happened. Everybody knows Lamar Jackson's a big fan of cheese.
Yeah, he's a cheesehead. It might as well be a Packer.
They always said that if he went to the Packers, he would actually probably never. We would have never found out he'd be the guy that he is because he'd just be in the dressing room eating cheese,
gourmet cheese too, not just your cheddar.
Oh yeah,
your Swiss. I mean, we're talking about the stinky cheese,
Wisconsin cheese. So they said he had to go somewhere because in California's got good cheese too. He had to go somewhere as far away from both Wisconsin and California as possible to neutralize his cheese eating.
All factual.
But he spent all off season eating so much cheese that it took about 12 weeks to get it out.
Yep, and now he's on it. Now he's on one. So
Lamar, for all of us Munsterholics out there, you're doing us a good service.
Yeah,
dude, I made a cheese. I've been making grilled cheese sandwiches because I'm living it up hardcore, and I made a grilled cheese last night. It was fucking crazy. It was.
Yeah, dude, grilled cheese, you can't go wrong with that.
Nah, dude, you
can spice it up a little bit.
I made a fat guy grilled cheese. I did Munster cheese with Winco macaroni and cheese and steak-'em.
Ooh.
And I called it my mac and grilled cheese steak.
Wait, you put mac and cheese in there?
It's Munster cheese, Winco macaroni and cheese, steak-'em, another slice of Munster, and a bread. That I put the garlic oil.
Put that in the suggestion box for Right Line.
I did garlic oil on the like that they let you buy for the pizzas. I did that on the bread.
Oh, when you want to make your own pizzas and shit.
Yeah. And I call it the mac and grilled cheese steak.
Nice.
Yeah, that was wonderful. But anyway, yeah, Lamar, big time cheeseaholic. So
and then it comes down to this:
Cleveland and Kansas City. This should be a game. I think everybody kind of...
I'm so excited.
I think KC's the favorite here, but Browns are the sentimental favorite. And the Browns are getting...
They have a hot hand.
They're getting their guys back. They're getting their coach back.
Getting their corner. Their secondary.
Yep. Both Kevin Johnson and Denzel Ward are back. Joel Bitonio, their Pro Bowl guard, is back.
And look, they just took down the 11-0 Steelers.
Steelers are going to be a train wreck next year.
Holy fuck. So yeah, I mean, we saw what they did. We see what they're doing.
Yep.
Without every piece of the puzzle there. Now we're going to have all the pieces right there for this big game against the defending champions, the presumable champions that everybody's crowning them already since the beginning of the season. Don't be surprised if the Browns come away with this one. Because I know I won't. That's who I'm picking. I'm not going to be surprised either way how the game goes. Still on these toes. But I think Baker Mayfield and the boys are cooking.
Big time.
I really want to see this play out for the Browns. They've had such a drought over the years. Oh. It's very impressive what Baker Mayfield and the team has done, even since last year. So... Kansas City, I mean, that's what you would expect, right? Like, who wants that, man? That's boring. Let's get the Browns in there.
Didn't Tedrick Thompson play for you guys?
Yeah, fucking
they just
years
waved,
back.
They just waved him. Here's a stat. Interceptions thrown over the last 10 games, including postseason. Goff, 9. Jackson, 8. Brady, 8. Allen, 6. Breeze, 5. Mahomes, 5. Rodgers, 3. Mayfield, 1.
Yeah, exactly.
1.
Exactly that. So
Baker Mayfield has hit his stride, dude.
He is the dude. And he actually manifested this before he was even drafted.
Did you hear Chase Claypool was saying Brown's going to get clapped? And then somebody says, Chase Claypool is tested positive for diarrhea of the mouth.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, look at him. I mean, what happens when the Steelers talk? Not good things.
No.
I mean, look at Juju.
Yeah, Juju.
Hey, he had himself a game there, even though he talked before it.
He played good, but
it wasn't enough, buddy. Wasn't enough. So
their assistant O-line coach is cleared to return too. So they're dealing with no COVID, nothing.
So yeah, they got it under control now. They're probably like, hey, stop drag racing. Let's get this job done.
This is gonna be a game.
That game, that's like all I'm going to be doing Sunday. I'm probably not going to be working that much. I'm going to be watching this game.
Yeah, Browns Chiefs gonna be an event, and then Bucks Saints. Saints swept the Bucks in the regular season, but we're looking at a Saints offense that doesn't look 100% right now.
I don't think they've looked 100% all season.
Between Breeze and
between me and you,
really dropping off. Taysom Hill just being inexperienced. You remember the last meeting they had, Saints whooped them 31-3 or something like that. I don't see a repeat performance of that. I would prefer the Saints beat the Bucks.
I think the Bucks, and that's who I got going
but I think the Bucks win this too.
Here's the thing: everybody was expecting the Bucks to be that team, right? Like the big scary team in the NFC, and they weren't until like the last 5-6 weeks, right?
Yeah,
maybe even just the last 4 or 5. And they finally got it together, and they know what they're doing. Guys is
5 wins in a row.
I'm thinking Rojo should be back this week.
Let me see.
And if it is, that will help a lot. Not saying anything for Fournette.
The
but
Buccaneers subreddit is just a mess.
Ugly.
Yeah.
What do you expect? But I think these guys go on a run. I think they're gonna take the New Orleans.
Rojo improved today in practice. Will be a game time decision with a quad injury versus the Saints.
So very possible.
Expects Leonard Fournette to start either way.
Mm-hmm.
That's not a bad guy to have start either. But I think if
Fournette came into his own later on too. But
if you have a 2-headed running attack, especially considering Rojo had his best year yet, that would be better against the Saints defense.
But I guess what I'm seeing is I'm seeing New Orleans regress while I'm seeing the Buccaneers progress.
Definitely.
So that's where I think they'll clash, and I think the Buccaneers, it's not going to be like that last game we saw. Or, the last 2, I guess, against these. I guess the 2 times that Tom Brady's faced Breeze, they haven't been very good games.
No.
2 losses. I think the first game was better than the second game because that was just ugly.
Yeah.
That was the game where, dude, that defense was eating up Brady. But that was when Brady was struggling with his reads, and he was struggling with the timing and trying to get his receivers, tied everybody on the same page. And I think they finally are there. They got the running game established even more.
Right.
I think it's going to be a good game, but ultimately the Bucks, that's who I got.
I mean, they won a lot of games this year, but I just don't see Brady. Excuse me. I don't see Brady losing to the same team 3 times in 1 year.
Can't happen.
It just
You're not going to get swept
mathematically
like that.
For a guy like that. It makes 0 sense.
Exactly.
I'd love to see it. I think it'd be funny.
Yeah,
but,
I mean, I don't care either way. It's not gonna. I don't care for either team.
So I've got Rams, Bills, Browns, Bucks. Well, do I have the Browns? Yeah, no. Give me the Browns. Give me the Browns. Just because I hate the Chiefs. I hate the Chiefs so much.
I think it's just the Chiefs are just so expected.
Yeah.
And I think they're gonna come into that after and off a bye. It could go either way. It could be good because they're rested, but it could be bad because they're rusty.
Yeah.
So Browns are coming off a hot streak and they're still going. Look out! You guys better come out fucking hard. So I don't know.
It's gonna be a good one.
Yeah.
But with that, I think that's everything.
Yeah, I mean, I think we covered everything that's been relevant this week.
I think we got the whole show, and this has been a good episode. Yeah, definitely. One of our very discussion heavy, but it is what it is. That's what the show is. That's what a podcast is.
That's how we do it.
Next week, tentatively speaking,
hopefully,
Skyler will be back. And we'll be calling our friend of the show, the Duke of Drones, the proud pilot, Captain Redbeard himself.
Fantasy football champion.
Fantasy football, right line, fantasy football 2020 champion, Adam McQuaid. We're going to be calling him because we are taking a page right out of Barstool Chicago's book, and we're going to do a draft. We are drafting essentially Mount Rushmores of football failure. We're going to be drafting NFL busts. It's going to be a snake draft between the 4 of us. We're going to draft, each of us will draft a quarterback, a running back, a a wide receiver / tight end, a front 7, that would be a linebacker, DN, D tackle, and then a secondary, corner or safety. These we're drafting the most putrid, biggest letdowns, guys who have led to many tears shed for their respective teams' fans. It's going to be a good one.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're going to make it a graphic, put it on Facebook, and people will vote on who has the worst, the best of the worst. The worst of the worst.
The worst of the worst.
That's
and
right.
It's going to be fun. It's going to be entertaining, and hopefully we have a little bit of discussion in there, maybe a little bit of back and forth.
Yeah.
I agree, I don't agree. So it could get a little chippy.
So in the next week, we're going to be working on our big boards to make the best show that we can. The best draft, the most competitive draft.
Mm-hmm.
We'll rescue Skyler from the hooks, open up the can of tuna, and get him out of there.
Yeah.
And we'll be back next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. Take her easy.
Have a good one.